attempt at doing a virtual co-working session. A lot of people RSVP'd, but we've only got 2 people joined us for the conversation at the moment. That's okay. We'll still have a talk. But if you're out there watching this, come and join us. Just post on, if you do not have your invitation link already, just post on the event page that you'd like an invitation, and we'll send one to you, and you can come in and talk. I want to tell you a little bit about what we're doing here and how I got the idea. And we're still experimenting. We don't know what will work and what won't yet. But last week we had a virtual hangout, and it was just really a lot of fun. We just talked and exchanged ideas, and people told us what their different projects were. And then I think the broadcast part of that lasted about 45 minutes, maybe 50 minutes or so. And then we went into a private discussion. I was only there for about 10 minutes, but I understand other participants stayed like an hour just talking and exchanging ideas. Well, I thought, maybe we should just kind of formalize that and have this be a hybrid public hangout, public HOA, and then private hangout. And then people want, and then we can be more efficient. We can have people kind of tell us what they're doing and the issues in their business during the public part of the hangout, and still have some discussions and questions from the audience. And then we can go into the private hangout, and then whatever happens, happens. We can, explore ideas further. We can figure out ways to help each other. We can talk about different programs for entrepreneurs we might want to work on together. And so that's the idea. It's going to be a hybrid public-private. And what that will do is for the people watching the hangout, hopefully it will make it more efficient. Because I saw another a group that's doing some crowdfunding work with hangout similar to this, and their HOA was like 2.5 hours. Nobody is going to watch that. Nobody has the time. But if we can get it down, depending on how many people, get it down to 25, maybe 30 minutes, then people will be able to catch up with people. The people that are participants won't have to come every single time. And maybe if we can get some elements of a virtual co-working center going. So before I yammer too much, I want to just quickly introduce the people that are here. And guys, don't start talking about your projects yet, but introduce yourself. Tell us what city you're from, and a little bit about your projects or your business. But this is just the introduction, then we'll go into a little more depth on what you're doing. Let's start with Ian. Ian, what are you up to?
Well, my name is Ian Payton. I'm from Toronto, Canada. I'm a freelance writer, blog creator, social media watch person for several of my clients. So that's what I basically, and I'm also a photographer.
Okay. Do you have trouble getting clients in the social media arena? Can I ask how you get that? The people that are participants won't have to come every single time. And maybe if we can get some elements of a virtual co-working center going. I have no idea what's going on now. It's replaying my voice of something I said like 5 minutes ago. Are you guys getting that too?
Yeah, it just popped up on me because I guess I got the invitation and it automatically started, sort of post-broadcast. So there's a lag there.
I see what's happening. It's coming from your speaker then, and there's a delay on the broadcast. I got it. Okay.
So I had to turn that off.
Okay, Linda, why don't you introduce yourself? Where are you from, and what are you working on these days?
Oh, hi, I'm Lindell Danzy Black. I am from the Caribbean. I am from the island of St. Lucia, but I live in South America, Guyana. I am currently an event and project manager, but I own a company by the name of Cerulean Inc. in Guyana, and we do service quality training as well as business consulting. I am also trained in maritime transport and tourism, so I also provide consultancy services for regional organizations.
Wow. So it sounds like this is going pretty well for you.
Yes, has been.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to check the page again, see if anybody's here.
That's what I was just checking.
Oh, okay. So you got it covered.
Well,
Okay, well, I'll introduce myself then. My name is Rob Gordon. It's probably not showing up on the Hangout screen because, like I said, I'm experimenting with doing this on my own page this time, on my own brand page, World Startups. I have a rough time with elevator speeches, but I guess I would call myself a project management consultant. That's what I'm emphasizing in my practice now, helping small businesses, startups, entrepreneurs, especially solopreneurs, schedule and manage their projects better. I like using some of the modern day tools like Asana, and I'm also doing content and business writing, actively looking for work. I'll talk about that a little bit. But what we're asking in this session is that people have a tab or two open on their browsers, and then you're going to do a screen share and show us a little bit more about what you're doing. And we'll give you 5 minutes or so. We'll see. I don't think there's going to be an audience there, but other people can ask questions. So are either of you set up yet? Would you like to show us a little bit more about what you're doing, how you work, issues you have, anything like that?
Well, some of my issues is I'm still trying to catch up on all the new tools and ways of posting in advance. Like Google Plus is probably one of the hardest places to be able to schedule your posts, like on your page. You have to use third-party programs like Hootsuite or something else that actually has an API. Hootsuite recently had a problem with their API and wasn't posting half of the posts I was scheduling on Google Plus page.
Well, as I understand it, you cannot do it has to be to a brand page. It can't be to a regular Google profile with Hootsuite anyway. Is that correct?
Yeah. So if I'm trying to do it to, for instance, one of my clients, Telsec, if I want to post, have something show up in their page, their branded page, at 7 in the morning, I'd either have to be up at 7 in the morning and post it, or find a third-party software to deliver the message at 7:30 in the morning, like I can do with all my other, Facebook and Twitter and all that.
Well, let me ask you about, again, divert you a little bit, and this might not have been the exact vision of how I was going to do it, but about Telsec, that is a co-working facility, isn't it?
We are actually just starting a co-working space there. We're mainly virtual offices and small, whether it be small office space for an individual or team space for a group of people, which is almost like their own private co-working space. And we actually have a number of clients who have some of these large rooms we have, and they have like 10 or 12 employees working out of this one room.
Well, that can kind of be a good thing, because like I said, I'm working a lot with solopreneurs, and I hate the term. It sounds kind of forlorn, but entrepreneurial loneliness, it actually does happen. It actually is an issue. And one of the reasons this is interesting to me is we're going to try to replicate the elements, the good parts of a co-working facility. And as I said last week, my idea for that would be like, say you're all working in that kind of room with 12 people or whatever. Now you're going to be working mostly on your own stuff. But every once in a while, you'll go over to a coworker and say, "Hey, what you working on?" And they'll tell you, and you'll tell them. And the fact that you're just near each other and in proximity, over time you get familiar with what they're doing, and kind of some synergies often happen because of that, and people end up doing other joint ventures together. Is that been your experience, or is your center too new for that?
Well, again, mostly with these, that they're one company, but yes, they could be working on various projects, and they've got to look over to the guy who's sitting maybe 20 feet away from them and say, you know what, I really need to get my head off my project. Let me see if I can help you with yours for a second. And then all of a sudden he gets an epiphany and he goes, hey, you know what, I could probably apply this to what I'm working on.
Well, how do we replicate that? Let me back up a minute. Another place that this idea came from was I was in a class with Stanford, and just an online class, but it was pretty good. It was called Entrepreneurial Technology, and we did the normal lecture stuff, and then we had to do a class project together. And what we did as part of our class project was study the Startup Weekend organization, which is a global organization. It's pretty big, and I think people probably already know what it is. People get in, they have a facility, and you go there for a weekend, starting Friday night, and you stay there for like 50 hours straight, working together with people. I went to it was fun. It was very well done. I unfortunately got there late. I got my invitation late, but it was well done. So what we tried to do in this entrepreneurial class is like, how can could we have a virtual startup weekend? Well, almost immediately it was obvious that was you couldn't keep a camera on all weekend. Nobody would go. Nobody would stay. It'd be boring as all get out. So whenever you move things to a different media like this, you have to take advantage of the media. And what I'd like to explore a little bit, or maybe get your ideas if you have any, is how could we replicate that here with this technology? Do you have any thoughts on that before I yammer more?
I'll let Lindell speak. She hasn't said much, but I have some ideas.
Lindell, what do you think? Do you do much virtual work, Lindell?
I believe that anything that you can do in an office where people are seated a few feet from each other, you can do virtually. That has always been my take on the way that things should actually go. So, having a weekend startup, I wasn't actually hearing too clearly what you were saying, and that's what I was saying before. So I didn't get the total gist of your contribution.
Sure, I was saying it's impossible. It would be impossible to have a whole weekend on video camera. That would be ridiculous. So what we have to do is find out, how do we do sort of the same thing on video and remotely like this? Did you get that?
Actually, Rob, if I can just point something out, do you have something playing in the background in the room you're in? Because I'm picking up something.
Yeah.
Some sound effects or some music, I can't tell.
No, nothing.
It's really, really muffled, so I'm not really getting the gist of what he's saying.
I wonder if I can.
There's like a hum of some sort.
Yeah, exactly, Ian.
Is it better now?
Speak again.
Is it better now? It might be my computer.
Yes, that's much better.
And what I'm also getting is I'm getting a reverb from.
Yeah. You know, guys, there's technical glitches on these every time.
Oh yeah, you have to learn.
Yeah,
it takes time to figure this out.
I've had maybe one without a technical glitch. But last week was so smooth it was ridiculous. And this week, I did a huge amount of work on this. That's why the turnout is kind of disappointing to me. I'm grateful for you guys showing up. But
you had a great crowd. You had a great crowd the last one I tuned into.
These are tremendous. I know I changed pages and stuff. But people kind of take it for granted how much work these are. One guy, when I came up with, and I don't want to talk about this too much in the public session, but when I came up with the idea for the hybrid public-private, he just immediately kind of hijacked I posted on the discussion. He kind of hijacked it. And he goes, "Oh, network with me if you want to do this. I do these kinds of things all the time." He didn't say really forget about Rob. It was a little annoying. Because you mentioned the way how hard it is to post on Google, how hard it is to schedule things. Google is designed to prevent spam.
Rob, do you have headsets? Because I've just put on my headsets, and I think I'm hearing you a little better, but it is still getting muffled.
Okay. I don't know what the problem is. The technology was perfect before. It was the exact same setup. It's very frustrating to me that Google.
I'm hearing Ian very clearly.
Okay. Ian, why don't we go ahead and everybody else will do their presentation. Lindell, why don't you go ahead and give us more of a presentation, and I can hear the echoes now too. Is it still happening? Am I still echoing?
Try facing your speakers towards the wall behind you.
Okay. Then,
You can still hear them, but they're not interfering with your microphone.
okay. This is already not working. This is kind of failed. I want to give you guys a chance to talk. I'm not even gonna try to do mine. I'll just sacrifice. Why don't, Lyndall, why don't you go ahead and tell us more about your projects and what you're doing.
Okay.
And if you want to screen share, go ahead if you know how to do that.
Ian, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. Okay, so one of the things that I've realized that is a bit of a problem in Guyana is the level of service. And because of the service quality or service delivery that I kept getting over time, I decided to find a solution to these problems. And the solution was that I would provide individual training in service quality to groups of persons, as well as to offer that service to corporate organizations. So I started really small. In addition to that, because I had worked on various business projects in St. Lucia, I decided to work on helping smaller businesses to basically reach profit margins. So the whole business started in 2012, where everything started really, really small. Over time, what has happened is I now have more corporate clients than I do group sessions like I did before. In addition to that, one of the things that I would like to do is to do virtual training, and that is where my constraints lie, because we have a bit of a problem here in South America, well, in Guyana, with the issue of connectivity and telecommunications. Today it's great, and thank God for that, but normally it's not. And so where I want to take this into doing webinars or doing e-learning, that has been constrained for a while. But what I have been doing is doing a lot of ground research so I can provide that kind of service with time, and then to put it virtually so that I can offer training sessions to wider cross sections internationally, regionally and internationally.
And
So that's what it is in a mouthful.
I wasn't clear on what kind of training it is.
It's service quality training. It's like customer service, but service quality is all encapsulating. It includes customer service training.
Okay. And may I ask, how do you get corporate clients? Is that global, or are they mostly in Ghana or Ghana?
Well, they are in Guyana. They are actually corporate clients in Guyana and regionally. So, for example, I've got some clients in St. Lucia. I have some in St. Vincent, in Antigua, and as well here in Guyana.
And what kind of quality? Service quality for any kind of business? Or?
What kind of? Could you say that again? What kind of?
What kind of quality? You do quality advising. What kind of quality? Service quality. What does that mean?
Service quality is looking at the service quality is actually looking at standards in service delivery. How do you, as a corporate organization, provide service excellence to your customers? So we look at standards development. We actually, first of all, look at assessment of the organization. What are you offering? Are your customers satisfied with what you are delivering to them? Is your perception of what they need meeting their expectation? So we really go out and do an assessment based on a set of indices that I have prepared. I use those indices and assess organizations to see how much of the indices they are actually matching up to. So I will then be able to say your customers are not satisfied because you lack X, Y, Z, or you have been doing X, A, B, C well. So basically, Once we've been able to assess the organization based on the indices and realize that there is a gap in the training, that is where we address. So we really remedy situations.
Do you have partners on this? You mostly work alone?
Say again?
You work with partners usually, or do you usually work alone, or both?
I work with partners. I collaborate a lot. For example, recently I did some training where we were looking at touch points as it relates to customer experience. So I worked with Quartz Guyana. Quartz Guyana is a huge furniture and departmental store. So I worked with their customer experience manager to come in with me and do training. I also work with a communication specialist that would do that section of what I'm doing.
What would you say the biggest problems or issue with your business is right now?
I'm not hearing, sorry.
Okay, I'll repeat Rob's.
What would you say the biggest problem or issue with your business right now?
The problem or issue with my business at this time is actually the constraints of perhaps funding. That would be one issue. So, you know, I would like to be able to expand and provide e-learning of all of the modules that I have prepared. So that I would have to do incrementally, because obviously I can't afford to do it on a wider scale. So that would probably be one of my constraints.
Okay. Fascinating business. Is there any for your fellow entrepreneurs? If anybody's watching this video, who would you want to have contact? Is there anybody out there you would like their help, or you'd like to know them?
Is that for me? I'm Ian.
Yeah, that's for you. Any message for your fellow entrepreneurs? Things you're looking for, the kinds of people you would like to connect with, anything like that.
Okay, the kind of people I would perhaps like to connect with would be folks who are into e-learning and e-management of sites and stuff like that. People who would probably be able to collaborate with me in providing a platform for my e-learning courses, as well people who are looking for mentorship. I am also a mentor with the youth entrepreneurship program here. That is a program funded by UNICEF. So I wouldn't mind collaborating and to helping as well, because a lot of what I do is based on helping people.
Outstanding. That's really wonderful. I'd love to start a co-mentoring program of some kind on the entrepreneurs community. We'll talk about that later. I want to get Ian in now. Ian, why don't you take the floor for a while? Tell us a little bit more about your business. You've already told us one current problem. One doesn't sound like a huge one. But give us a bigger picture on what you're doing. Any issues you're having, and the kind of people you'd like to connect with. Why don't you tell us a little bit?
Actually, before I go into that, I just had a suggestion for Lindell. There's several organizations out there that throughout North America, South America, these are world organizations that actually help fund e-learning projects. You might want to do some investigation into those and see if you can get some help or support from them.
Well, she's already with you.
Okay. Thank you, Ian.
But the ones I've heard of, which I don't have any information right now on, these are they're actually done not by groups like UNICEF. It's more like a group of philanthropists that want to do this, and they're all about education. But again, I learn about this stuff because I'm constantly reading. And I have to constantly read.
Ian, sorry, I just got distracted a little bit. Could you just say what you said again?
Yes, there's several philanthropy groups that they do help fund worldwide projects about e-learning, and because they want to learn from your experiences just as you're going to learn from theirs. I don't have a list handy, but I have heard of them.
Okay, okay. I will do the research. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And see, that's actually what I do. I actually do a lot of research every week. I have to. One of my key clients is Office Business Center, and I write a couple of blogs a week for them, and then I post them to social media. I do social engagement for them, because the idea of we're not on social media to sell our product. We're actually there to give small business advice and help where we can, because when a company says, oh, you know what, we need office space, but you know what, those guys over there at Telsec, they've been really helpful to us. We're top of mind.
Exactly.
It's becoming top of mind for us.
Yes, yes. Oh,
and we do talk to people about...
Ian, could you just excuse me 1 minute? There's something very important I need to get done.
Okay.
1 second.
So as I was...
You can watch on the recording and spoken to other people.
Yeah. So as I was saying, so when I write for Telsec, I basically write for them stuff that will, sometimes it can showcase their products, but mainly talk about...
I'm really sorry about that. Sorry about that.
You know, while I'm writing sometimes about showcasing their products, I try not to do too much showcasing of their products. I try and find a solution for a small business problem. And I usually find these things in various blogs or in the news even. I've written about topics like stress, office stress, and it was funny. Earlier, Rob, you mentioned about people being suffering from being a solopreneur and that isolation.
Yeah.
So I've actually written articles about how to deal with that isolation, how not to get bogged down, you know, but when you're working at home all by yourself. Like, I personally, I go into the office only once a week. I work from home. And so that isolation that entrepreneurs face,
deal with, yes.
It is something, and it adds that extra level of complication to what they're trying to accomplish. Because sometimes the distractions they find are not good distractions.
Yeah.
And that's why...
That's partly what we're trying to address a little bit with sessions like this. I got a little bit disappointed that more people, but RSVP can go up. But, you know, that's something we can solve as Lindell said, you know, just about everything can be done virtually.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's not that much they can. We're all digital workers, we're all knowledgeable. But, you know, the isolation is a problem. There's other problems as well. I said articles about stress. What I found, or about ways to help entrepreneurs, it's really not a problem of too little information out there. There's really too much.
Oh yeah, and that
exactly where to go or what to do. And that's why we talk a little bit about a roadmap. If there's one thing I'm positive, from all this advice you get from entrepreneurs programs, is that one size does not fit all. And also a lot of the advice you get is the polar opposite. The advice you hear is the polar opposite. You know, entrepreneurial advice. One person will tell you one thing, the other person will tell you the exact opposite. So I mean, these are big issues. That's one of the conversations. I have a few questions. One, are you your company, your co-working?
Sorry, you broke up there.
Am I breaking up again? How do you pronounce your company's name?
Telsec.
Telsec. Are you one of the owners of Telsec, or are they your customers?
No, actually I actually rent office space there for my business, and I actually just help them with their social content and their website.
I see. And have you or they ever thought about, or has anybody ever thought about combining kind of acceleration services with co-working? I mean, in a way, co-working, they're sort of business incubators anyway. But really, they're just a place to work. They're just combining that with Hey, we'll help you in other ways. We'll help you grow, or it's not just a byproduct. You understand?
Well, it is partly a byproduct, but that we are looking at setting aside and tearing down some walls and creating a co-working space. And the idea that I'm always preaching about, the great thing about being in a business office center, is that there are so many diverse people doing so many different businesses. So you could go into the kitchen, have a cup of coffee, and start talking to somebody who's an accountant, and you just happen to be having an accounting problem. Or you do meet people. It is like a small community, even as a shared office space. So they are looking at creating a co-working center within the office space, and but co-working spaces in Toronto have been seeing a mixed reaction, because some people are starting to find that a co-working space can actually cause more distraction than it is productivity. So they don't go there for the whole day. They might just go there for a couple hours just to sort of pick somebody's brain.
I think that's kind of the idea. They're like a gym membership, right? Where you pay a monthly fee, and then you go whenever you want. And I had one person I was did some business with, and had some office she went into like 2 days a week, and she said that was just perfect. She loved working out of her home, but having some place you could go with other people to work, that was perfect.
I am really not hearing you. I'm sorry.
Okay, we're gonna I'm gonna can you guys hear me at all? Can you guys hear me? Am I boggled?
There's a major delay on what from your voice to what I'm seeing on the screen.
I'm not gonna present my own though. It was just bad connection. There's nothing I can do. So I'm gonna just check, and I'm gonna end the broadcast part of this.
I'm in there now, and I haven't seen any more comments yet.
Yeah, no comments. Not that much. It could be because I moved to a new page. Could be people just take these things for granted. I can come anytime. And they sort of can, but I'm being a little tighter on how I manage the invitations and circles on this one. So people, if I don't hear from them, they're not going to be interested in the invitation.
Also, because you changed, you are correct. You are correct. Changing it to your site may have caused some confusion, but but personally, for me, I had to go back to. I wasn't going to come in here representing Telsec. I was coming in here as me, because I'm the entrepreneur who runs my own business of doing social content. But I'm also a photographer, and that's gives a whole new bunch of challenges in itself. Trying to be a semi-professional photographer. And especially when you tell people, I don't do weddings. I hate bridezillas.
Okay. Well, because I'm having connection problems, they're totally unpredictable. Exact same setup, everything identical. But it doesn't work this time. With Google, it's about 50-50. With Skype,
it's hit or miss. It's hit or miss. But
I was actually, you're not allowed to say these things. They're really savagely attacked. I've been using Skype a little bit. I'm just amazed at how well designed it is. Google is very much so.
But I get
my presentation this time. I'm going to stop the broadcast. Do either of you have any public questions for each other? We've seen the conference room after we shut down. So I'm going to end the broadcast. Any last minute public comments?
Okay.
Both stay here for a moment.
Okay, it was nice meeting you. And you, Ian.
Yes, it was nice to meet you, Lindell.
Yes, and we will connect on Google. I assume, Ian. I will speak to you further. I have two profiles, of course. There's myself, and then the Office Space Toronto Telsec one that I'm more likely posting there as them. Giving small Telsec, TELSEC. Okay.
That's where I'm mainly giving small business advice through.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll follow you on there.
Yeah. You guys can both hang around for a minute. I'm going to end the broadcast, but then the recorded broadcast, but then you can just have a closeout chat. Anyway, this has been our second attempt at a virtual co-working session. It worked quite as well last time because of technical difficulties and possibly because we moved it to a new page, possibly people were busy. But we probably will try again. Hopefully, you know, like the technology's kind of hit or miss with Hangouts, but we're going to probably try again. So I do want to thank you if you took the time to listen to this. We're going to talk briefly in a private session. We might be doing these again. Let me know if you're interested in the time stuff because I'm a little bit demoralized at the moment. But I do thank you for listening. Thank you very much.
Thank you.